I gotta tell what I feel.
Well, I don't know if you've been following the news, but it just seems like our young folks are dying, abusing drugs or whatever it may be for whatever reason. You may not be familiar with this young rapper named Juice WRLD. He was just on his way to being the next big thing. The guy was just incredible. But, there were rumors that, this guy was doing lean, which is scissor, cough syrup or whatever, and doing all these other things and had been experiencing seizures. If you notice before with Rick Ross having issues with seizures and Lil Wayne, and it was often suspected that they were doing the cough syrup, which basically shuts your heart down. That's what it does. Of course, the story came out about this guy, Juice WRLD, that he was trying to hide drugs from law enforcement agencies and ingested a number of drugs to hide it from them, and it caused him to pass. That's what they're speculating. But I often ask, why are young folks being reckless? Right? I know there's this invincibility thing when you're young. You don't think anything's going to happen to you. But I don't know if it's infamy or is it you want to become legendary. It doesn't make sense to me. But this talented young man rapped about dying by the age of 21. Talked about the 27 Club. I don't know if you guys know what the 27 Club is. Famous musicians that died at age 27, like Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. Saying, hey, I won't live to see my 21st birthday. I mean, this was common in some of his lyrics and things in his music. So he had a really dark side. And so self-medicating is something that a lot of people do. But I think the bigger problem is something that virtually affects all of us. That problem is mental illness. On average, they say white Americans are 2 times more likely to go to counseling than their African-American counterparts. There's a stigma associated with going to therapy in the black community. People view you as crazy or weak. That's true. A lot of us in our community, man, it's like, oh, man, go to church. That'll get you right. A lot of us have been conditioned to endure the ravages of mental illness because you're scared of getting that weak, crazy label. We come from kings and warriors. You can't be mentally weak. I've dealt with anxiety and depression like millions of other people, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was lucky enough to grow up in a household where, hey, listen, you got a problem, we can send you somewhere where you can talk to somebody. Not everybody can do that. But to suffer in silence because of what others may think of you is part of the mental illness that permeates our community and others. These ODs that we're getting with these young folks are not a coincidence. I believe there is a mental health dynamic to this. It's easier said than done, but don't be ashamed. Try not letting someone make you feel shamed over something that you really can't control. There is an answer for a lot of us. Stop listening to those people that say that you're weak or you're crazy, because you're not. You're of sound mind when you recognize you have a problem and you do something about it. You can get there with some level of understanding through counseling. And please know, hope is out there. And you can hit me up right here at 1-877-PAR Show or Instagram at Russ Parr Show. I would be more than happy to recommend an extremely low-cost or no-cost counselor, somebody that you can talk to. You're not alone. That's my rant.